From many distant lands, our forefathers came, some seeking adventure, some bound in chains. Through battles waged and fought, through victory and pain, by test of their courage, our freedom was gained. In homage to those gone before us, the heroes of lands in the sun, we vow to join hands and to focus on building one Caribbean. Raise your voices high, sing of your Caribbean pride. Sing it loud and strong, feel our hearts beat as one. Celebrate in song as we rise to heights where we belong. Sound the victory drum for Caracom. Though great and diverse be our ethnicities, the bonds that unite us are stronger than these. We dine, we pray, we love, we dance and we play. We relate to each other the West Indian way. Today as a people united, determined and steadfast we stand. We look to a brand new horizon, the future now firmly in our hands. Raise your voices high and sing of your Caribbean pride. Sing it loud and strong, feel our hearts beat as one. Celebrate in song as we rise to heights where we belong. Sound the victory drum for Caracom. Hele, hele, bravo, open you sing Caracom. Leve, leve, bravo, naki you drum Caracom. Tabu ya tabu, abo, open you sing Caracom. Raise your voices high and sing of your Caribbean pride. Sing it loud and strong, feel our hearts beat as one. Celebrate in song as we rise to heights where we belong. Sound the victory drum. You sing Caracom, leve, leve, wow. Hele, hele, tabu ya tabu, awo. Naki yo drum Caracom, leve, leve, wow.
Vice Chancellor Professor Sir Hilary Beckles, Pro Vice Chancellor and Campus Principal Dr. Francis Severin, University executives and other members of staff, honorary graduates, distinguished guests, welcome to the presentation of graduate ceremony for the 2025 graduating class of the University of the West Indies Global Campus. Greetings to you graduates, your families, your lecturers, your mentors, and all who have walked this journey with you. Today we gather not merely to mark the end of an academic chapter, but to celebrate the beginning of a new Caribbean story, one that you, the graduates of 2025, are uniquely positioned to assist in crafting. You did not arrive here by accident. You arrived through sacrifice, through resilience, through nights of study and days of doubt, through balancing, in some cases, work and school, family and ambition, hardship and hope. You arrived through hurricanes, both literal and metaphorical. You arrived through the pandemic's lingering shadows, through economic uncertainty, through the quiet battles that no one saw, but you endured nonetheless. And as we celebrate today, we cannot forget the resilience shown in the face of Hurricane Melissa, which recently tested the strength of our Jamaican community. Your perseverance through that storm is a testament to the indomitable spirit that defines this graduating class. Class of 2025, you have not only completed your course of study, you have also grown intellectually, emotionally, socially. You represent the best of our region. And your growth does not stop here. Your journey continues not just academically, but as leaders in your communities and as guardians of our shared future. You are graduating into a global environment increasingly shaped by national self-interest, where the idea of a shared responsibility for the prosperity of mankind is fading, where the preservation of our way of life for all is no longer guaranteed, where climate change, inequality, and conflict threaten the very fabric of our collective future. And yet, here you are, standing tall, ready. As graduates of the University of the West Indies, you stand on a solid foundation. You have been equipped with knowledge, perspective, and the ability to think critically. In addition, you have inherited the legacy of decades of Caribbean leadership in important areas. In climate justice, where small island states have led the global call for action and accountability, where from Barbados to Bahamas, our leaders are demanding climate justice, not just for ourselves, but for vulnerable nations everywhere. In social equity, where Caribbean thinkers, artists, and activists continue to challenge inequality, colonial legacies, and systemic bias, where our voices shape the conversation on reparations, demanding equity and human dignity. In sports, where athletes have shown the world that excellence knows no borders, and what heart and discipline can achieve, where for decades our cricketers dominated world pitches with their skills and professionalism. And yet, this level of leadership and more are required now. In this still evolving new environment, you're not just graduates, you're builders, you're architects, you're the designers of a Caribbean that refuses to be defined by size, by limitation, or by the outmoded assumptions of others. You're part of the generation that must reset the agenda. You must chart a path to a more enlightened future, one that values cooperation over competition, one that sees diversity not as a challenge but as a strength, one that understands that the Caribbean voice is not a whisper, it is a force. In this emergent environment, you are not just graduates, you're architects of Caribbean possibility. Class of 2025, you are the generation that understands that knowledge is borderless, that technology is a great equalizer, that size is no longer an insurmountable limiting factor, that a small island can produce world-class innovation, that a village in Antigua, a district in Jamaica, a parish in Barbados, a town in Trinidad can be the birthplace of global solutions. You are the generation that knows that excellence is not imported, it is cultivated, it is homegrown, it is Caribbean. And so today I invite you to see yourselves not just as graduates of a university or university, but as stewards of our region, as custodians of a rich legacy, as the ones who will shape the economies, the institutions, and the values of a Caribbean that is ready to rise. Let us be clear. The Caribbean has long been underestimated. We have been told that we're too small to matter, too fragmented to lead, too dependent to thrive. But you know better. You know that our size is not our weakness. It is our strength. It allows us to be agile, to be bold, to be united in purpose. You know that our diversity is not a barrier. It is a treasure. It gives us perspective, creativity, and resilience. You know that our history is not a weight. It is a foundation. It reminds us of what we have overcome and what we are capable of. So let us respond by being an example that others can scarce ignore. Let us build systems that work. Let us foster cultures of integrity, innovation, and inclusion. Let us show the world what Caribbean excellence truly looks like. And even then, the future will not be given to us. It must be claimed. So class of 2025, go claim it. Claim it with your ideas, your startups, with your research, with your art, with your activism, with your leadership in boardrooms, in classrooms, in parliaments, and in communities. Claim it by refusing to accept mediocrity, by demanding transparency, by building institutions that serve the people, not just the powerful. Claim it by embracing technology, not as a tool of consumption, but as a platform for creation. Use it to solve problems, to connect markets, to educate minds, to amplify Caribbean voices across the globe. Claim it by investing in knowledge, not just degrees, but wisdom, not just credentials, but character. Claim it by remembering that the Caribbean is not a place, it is a promise of warmth, of brilliance, of possibility. Class of 2025, you are the guardians of that promise. You are the ones with the knowledge, creativity, and understanding to make a difference. The ones who can take our economies from extraction to innovation, from vulnerability to resilience, from imitation to leadership. You're the ones who can show that our region is not peripheral, it is pivotal. You're the ones who can remind the world that when the Caribbean dreams, it dreams in color, in rhythm, in brilliance, in courage. And so as you step forward today, I ask you to carry three things with you. First, carry your story. Never forget where you came from, whether you grew up in a fishing village or a bustling city, whether you were raised by one parent or many, whether you face hardship or privilege, your story matters. It is your compass, it is your power. Second, carry your responsibility. You're not just individuals, you're part of a collective, a Caribbean collective that needs your voice, your vision, your integrity. So lead with humility, serve with purpose, build with others. And third, carry your hope. The world will test you. It will challenge your ideas. It will tempt you to settle. But do not lose your hope. It is your fuel. It is your fire. It is the light that will guide you when the path is unclear. Graduates of 2025, you are ready. You are ready to build economies that are inclusive, sustainable, and bold. You're ready to challenge the status quo. You're ready to lead not just with intellect, but with heart. You're ready to show the world what the Caribbean can do. So I urge you, go forward, go proudly, go purposefully, and above all, never forget you are UWI, you're Caribbean, you're unstoppable. Congratulations, class of 2025. The future is yours to shape. We are met today in order that we may mark by a formal ceremony the entry of certain of our members into the company of graduates and the academic achievement of others. As a university, we are an academic society of undergraduates, bachelors, masters, and doctors, and we follow the academic tradition in the pursuit of knowledge and the encouragement of learning, purposes which are laid down in the preamble to the Royal Charter, by which we have been granted the powers needful for the prosecution of our affairs. In pursuing these aims, our members advance from time to time to a higher standing in the academic community, and it is proper that as a body we celebrate their achievement. It is marked by the granting of a degree or diploma or license or certificate, and we rejoice with our graduates on their achievement.
Chancellor. I now ask the public orator, Mrs. Leslie Crane Mitchell, to present Sir Calix George, whom the Senate and the Council of the University have been pleased to recommend for the award of the degree of Doctor of Laws honoris causa.
Chancellor, the legend of Hercules and his 12 labors has fascinated man for centuries. In Greek mythology, the fifth labor of Hercules was to clean the immense Augean stables that had housed thousands of immortal cattle for decades and never been cleaned. He accomplished the task in one day by diverting 2 rivers through the stables, a feat of strategic thinking and resolve. Chancellor, the magnitude of Sir Calix George's contributions to St. Lucia and the wider Caribbean have been no less than Herculean in nature. Like Hercules diverting the Alpheus and Pernes rivers to cleanse the Augean stables, this Caribbean titan, whom we honor here today, has dedicated a lifetime to confronting and resolving long-standing, seemingly insurmountable problems across key sectors of Caribbean society. If the ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy, then, Chancellor, I would posit without fear of contradiction that this pioneer of science education, agriculture research scientist, formidable trade union leader, and hero of OECS telecommunications liberalization, this St. Lucian colossus is more than deserving of the accolades we bestow here today. Born in Castries, St. Lucia on October 14, 1939, to Ivan Josephat George and Beatrice George, née Charles Melcher, Sir Calix's formative years were characterized by a strict Roman Catholic upbringing, instilled at home and reinforced by his early education at the St. Aloysius Roman Catholic Boys' School and the St. Mary's College, to which he earned a coveted scholarship. It was at St. Mary's College, then the only secondary school for boys on the island, that his lifelong obsession with the nexus between science and practical agriculture would take deep root. A passion first ignited by childhood holidays spent on his maternal grandfather's self-sufficient estate in rural Fournier, adjoining Marquis Estate in the quarter of Dauphin. There he distinguished himself by becoming the first student at the senior certificate level to obtain in one sitting distinctions in 3 Cambridge School Certificate science subjects. He would also be among the first group of St. Lucians to gain higher school certificates in 3 science subjects, namely chemistry, botany, and zoology in 1958. This success would lead to the first of his many labors, with young Calix serving as junior science master at St. Mary's College, introducing and teaching science to sixth form students, as well as training public school teachers many years his senior. Other youthful accomplishments would include being among the first cohort of students to graduate from the newly minted Faculty of Agriculture of the University College of the West Indies in 1963, with a degree in tropical agriculture. By 1966, he would add an MSc in soil science to his academic achievements, attained at the University of Reading, where he was mentored by renowned British soil scientist Professor Edward Walter Russell. His patriotic decision to return to St. Lucia rather than pursue even further studies set in train an illustrious career in agriculture that would, in time, extend beyond local shores to span the entire Caribbean region. As the island's newly appointed Research Agricultural Officer and later Chief Agricultural Officer, he would modernize the Union Agricultural Station. There, he led the Agricultural Training School, tutoring scores of agricultural cadets and diversifying the curriculum to include more scientific and technical subjects. He also spearheaded critical research programs in crop improvement and adaptation, as well as in soil fertility, sowing the seeds of the green gold revolution that would usher in an unprecedented period of prosperity for the island. With the growth of his reputation as an agricultural scientist and educator, Sir Calix's labours would expand exponentially. To his burgeoning portfolio would be added responsibility for managing agricultural stations throughout St. Lucia, the training of extension officers across the Windward and Leeward Islands, the task of formulating an agricultural science syllabus for CXC, and serving as Deputy Chief Examiner for that subject. By 1979, he would be headhunted by Dr. Lewis Campbell, chairman of the Caribbean Agricultural Research and Development Institute, CARDI, to join the regional organization as head of the local unit. He would later become project manager of the CARDI USAID Farming Systems Research and Development Project, with responsibility for all of the OECS, rising to serve as CARDI's executive director, headquartered at the St. Augustine campus in Trinidad from 1990 to 1993. A stint as executive chairman of the St. Lucia Banana Growers Association, SLBGA, in the early 1990s would follow, where he would play a significant role in the radical renegotiation of the island's monopolistic banana marketing contract with Geest Industries Limited and the establishment of the Windward Islands Banana Growers Association, a portent of even more revolutionary changes to come. Always something of a political animal, Sir Calix's early foray into St. Lucia's political landscape was as a founding member of the St. Lucia Forum, a group of professionals dedicated to the political, economic, historical, cultural, and scientific education of the ordinary man. He would later become a national figure of some renown as president of the Civil Service Association, locking horns in 1979 with the John Compton administration in an epic 59-day strike, during which the tough negotiating skills for which he would become legendary were refined. Ironically, it would be his ability to provide the workers with produce from his farm and from the farms of other sympathetic supporters that would sustain the strike and allow him to negotiate what would go down in history as the largest single salary increase for St. Lucian civil servants. Even more astounding was that due to his masterful presentations to the Stoney and Hewlett commissions, the government was ordered to give public officers back pay for the period they were out on strike. Sir Calix would subsequently be appointed to serve as Senate President in a short-lived Labour government from 1979 to 1982. By 1995, disillusionment with the party would lead Sir Calix to found the equally short-lived Citizens Democratic Party, which just 1 year later would merge with the Labour Party as part of a strategic decision to support the newly blooded Labour Party under the leadership of Dr. Kenny D. Anthony. Upon the return of the Labour Party to office in 1997, Sir Calix would serve as leader of government business in the Senate and inherit his own Augean stables in the form of a Ministry of Communications, Works, Transport and Public Utilities in dire need of both a metaphorical and literal cleansing. There he would unleash an unprecedented wave of long overdue reforms that would result in the provision of modern facilities for the ministry at Union via the then novel BOLT model of project financing, resurrection and corporatization of the Water and Sewerage Authority, and support of an island-wide rural electrification program. However, it was his pivotal role in breaking the cable and wireless monopoly of telecommunications in the OECS that will forever be etched in the annals of history. Years of experience in top national and regional posts had prepared him for this role. as noted by St. Lucian author Anderson Reynolds, already endowed with the necessary mental and physical qualities for leadership. By the time Calix George took up the charge against cable and wireless, he had become a leader of men. Speaking at the 15th anniversary conference of the Eastern Caribbean Telecommunications Authority, ECTEL, Prime Minister Anthony praised Sir Calix for his legendary fearlessness and ability to stay the course, and thanked him for bringing to the table a clear vision, unquestioned focus, hard-nosed determination, and indomitable conviction, despite bringing him grief on occasion. Criticized in some quarters for doing the job in a less than diplomatic fashion, he nevertheless was lauded by all concerned for his leadership and professionalism, with his colleague OECS ministers voting unanimously for him to serve 2 terms as chairman of ECTEL, which to this day stands as a powerful lesson in Caribbean integration. A fateful change in portfolio would take Sir Calix away from public utility reform, arguably sparing the St. Lucia Electricity Services Limited, LUSLEC, a similar fate. A less turbulent but equally successful term as Minister of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries would follow. Given his wealth of experience in that field, he set about diversifying the agricultural sector, leveraging his knowledge and research to bring about fundamental changes, introducing and promoting new crops, and integrating crop production with processing to create new industries. A stint at the Ministry of Home Affairs and Internal Security would be next, where his commanding presence and no-nonsense leadership style would be balanced by genuine efforts to stem attrition rates within the force. He did so by first increasing the salaries of all police officers by 1 grade, improving general working conditions, increasing the number of female police officers, and introducing the then novel idea of community policing. Perhaps more controversial within the post-colonial context would be the introduction of British police officers to assist with much-needed strategic reform, an experiment shot down by a change in government and Sir Calix's subsequent exit from active ministerial service in 2006. The recipient of numerous awards throughout his lifetime, Sir Calix would be honoured in 2012 with the St. Lucia Medal of Honour, SLMH Gold, for service to the nation in agriculture, telecommunications reform, and overall governance. A decade later, in recognition of exceptional and outstanding service of national importance made to St. Lucia, the nation's highest award of Knight Commander of the Order of St. Lucia, KCSL, would be the crowning glory of his long and distinguished career in the upliftment of the country of his birth. And still, even now, his labours continue. Though of advanced years, Sir Calix continues to work on a model COVID-19 food security production system at his homestead Passiflora farm, and to generously offer pro bono advice to anyone interested in benefiting from his wealth of knowledge and experience. Here too can be found the final resting place of his beloved wife, Mary Alvina Joan George, née Gibbs, who steadfastly shared his labours for 55 years, blessed him with 5 accomplished children, shared his deep Catholic faith, and whose skills in home economics and floriculture were a perfect fit for this farmer at heart. More recently, he has added the title of author to his many achievements, with the release of an 817-page tome entitled St. Mary's College, the Caribbean's Nobel Laureate School, in celebration of his beloved alma mater. A long-awaited autobiography has also been completed, with publication soon to follow. An ongoing contributor to the national talk show and lecture circuit, as well as numerous documentaries, his is a legacy of institutional reform and profound knowledge that continues to redound to the benefit of future generations. Therefore, Chancellor, I ask that you invoke the powers invested in you by the Council and Senate of the University of the West Indies and confer the degree of Doctor of Laws, LLD, honoris causa, on Sir Calix George, SLMH, CMG, KCSL.
Sir Calix George, by the authority vested in me by the Senate and Council of the University, I now confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa. I now invite Dr. Calix George to address the company.
Chancellor, Dr. the Most Honorable Doddridge Miller, Vice Chancellor, Professor Sir Hilary Beckles, Chairperson of Global Campus, Her Excellency Ambassador Dr. June Soomer, Pro-Vice Chancellor and Campus Principal Dr. Francis Severin, university executives and other members of staff, fellow graduates, distinguished guests, my friends and family. I am deeply touched to have been selected to receive this honor of the award of a Doctor of Laws from my alma mater. This brings me great joy. I have long regarded UWI as the cradle of what Prime Minister Errol Barrow of Barbados initially enunciated, and Prime Ministers Ralph Gonsalves of St. Vincent and the Grenadines and Mia Mottley of Trinidad of Barbados have continuously referred to as our Caribbean civilization. UWI has played an inestimable role in defining and harnessing the cultural, social, economic, political, and historical characteristics that give us that has given our region its unique character. I firmly believe that all graduates of the UWI should be seized of their responsibility to play their part in steadfastly contributing towards the improvement, sustainability, refinement, understanding, growth and development of our Caribbean civilization. To do so constructively, we must be aware of and have a thorough understanding of the genesis, historiography, functional processes, and strategies, institutional organs, and major achievements. Also, past, present, and future challenges, and also notable personal contributions to the contemporary status of our civilization. The bouillon that is Caribbean civilization is composed of several varied and contrasting ingredients, but with a unique, appetizing flavor. Among its finest ingredients is cultural diversity and syncretism bequeathed by multi-ethnic societies such as the Tainos and Kalinago people, followed by the imported Africans sourced from the despicable, wicked transatlantic slave trade commencing from West African ports of Gorée and Elmina. Long before Charles Darwin's theory of natural selection, the slave trade had already confirmed the theory. The survivors, that is our ancestors of the transatlantic voyages, had to be the best or the fittest of the African stock that were originally selected. While these survivors of the Middle Passage were a traumatized people. They possessed inherent characteristics such as physical strength, endurance, acuity, psychological strength, and a high level of spirituality and ancestral wisdom. Moreover, they needed to have a high capacity for adaptability. This, coupled with tactfulness, self-worth, determination, they were able to overcome, the rigors of the plantation system. It from the crucible of slavery, indentureship, emancipation, colonialism, and imperialism that characterized several centuries of interaction between Europeans and enslaved Africans, that a new breed of Homo sapiens emerged. A famous English agriculturist described the process as follows: to acquire or to defend a few square miles of sugarlands, regiments of country yokels were sent out from England and France to die like flies of yellow fever, but not before there had sprung largely from their loins a hybrid race, which is in many respects better adapted to develop these tropical islands than either its white or black ancestors. It is logical to conclude that such hybridization has produced a certain degree of heterosis within the Caribbean man and woman that is Creole in nature. Consequently, Caribbean Creole is heterogeneous and composite in nature, with Euro-Caribbean and Afro-Caribbean ingredients to the main, with additional flavors such as Asiatic and Arabic. Over many centuries, several household ecotypes have emerged that are distinctly West Indian, irrespective of the island of origin. This is perhaps best described by George Lamming when he wrote about his childhood in Barbados, not recognizing anything West Indian, but when he went to Trinidad, he found out that the households in Trinidad were like what he describes as a family of islands. He says that the mother in the house would be Grenadian, the father Vincentian, and the grandfather Barbadian. And there would be an aunt seeking refuge from Antigua, and so on. The only Trinidadians by birth were the children. And so it dawned on him that this Caribbean was already a fact of continuity. It should be noted that several notable contributors to Caribbean civilization have inter-island relationships. For example, C.L.R. James and George Padmore, who were Trinidadians who actually had Barbadian roots. And Eric Williams, Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, had Vincentian roots. And William Arthur Luce, our St. Lucian great Nobel laureate, had Antiguan roots. John Compton, our Prime Minister in St. Lucia, had St. Vincent roots from Canouan in the Grenadines. And Henry Beckles is a Barbadian, but with some St. Lucian connections. At this juncture, one would ask, what does UWI have to do with this discourse? Lamming provides an answer when he says, in a way, I suspect there are elements within the university structure of all our territories which are the agents of this expansion, creating, fertilizing this concept of the Caribbean as one's own historical experience, whose fundamental cultural links are within the region, waiting to be identified and explored. I assert that as members of a Creole society, it behoves those among us who have benefited from higher education from UWI to be au courant with its unique characteristics and the contributions to the fields in various areas such as education, literature, culture, science, technology, agriculture, medicine, etc. My favorites in that regard are persons like Philip Sherlock and Errol Miller, Didacus Jules. In education, in literature, of course, we have Derek Walcott, Kamau Braffett, Vidya Naipaul, George Lemming. In culture, we have Rex Nettleford and Orlando Patterson and Edna Manley. And also in this area of science, we have Rudranath Kapildeo and Joseph Pawan of Trinidad and Tobago. In agriculture, we have the famous animal breeder T.P. Lecky of Jamaica, Chelston Braffett of Barbados. In medicine, of course, we have the great George Arlene and some persons like Owen King in St. Lucia, Cyril Cyrus in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. In engineering, we have persons like Ken Julian and George Sunny. And of course, in politics, we have a whole host of contributors like the Bustamante and the Manley family, Compton and Charles, Jagan, etc. In law, we have Danley Alexander from St. Lucia, Sridhar Ramphal and Ellis Clark. And of course, in economics, we have Arthur Lewis, Alistair McIntyre, C.Y. Thomas, George Beckford, and so on. Of course, in music, we have Bob Marley, Singer Francisco, and Alwyn Roberts. And of course, in sports, we have, starting very early with persons like Arthur Wint, Hazley Crawford. And now, of course, you have Sobers and Brian Lara and Bolt, etc. In the area of historiography, we have Marcus Garvey, C.L.R. James Williams, Walter Rodney, Hilary Beckles, Lucille Matre, and so on. At this juncture, we must also mention the contribution of our communities to our civilization, places like Laventille in Port of Spain that gave rise to the steel pan, Grass Street in Castries that gave rise to the Walcott brothers, the Lewis brothers, Alexander, Luther Patterson, and the ghettos, of course, of Kingston, which gave rise to the reggae and the Rastafarian cult. We also must recognize the significant contributions of our regional organizations like the CDB, CARICOM, ECCB, OECS, and so on. Mention has to be made of the early contribution of the Pan-African movement to our civilization. This was started by a Trinidadian by the name of Sylvester Williams, whose vision and principles provided the basis for the 5th African Congress, Pan-African Congress, which was held in Manchester. That's an important congress where the whole of the Caribbean was represented. And we also had persons like Jomo Kenyatta, Hastings Banga, Kwame Nkrumah. And of course, there were personages like George Padmore, Dudley Thompson, Harold Moody, Amy Jakes Garvey, and so on. That Congress opened the doors for the independence of the former colonies of the British Empire. The first, of course, of the African countries was Ghana, where Nkrumah played a significant role. And it is significant that Nkrumah placed a black star in the middle of his flag in honor of Marcus Garvey. And now that Patterson, P.J. Patterson, with his Afro-Caribbean Linkage Institute, the ties between Africa and the Caribbean are on the rise. And one would hope that eventually Garvey's Black Star Line would come into existence. The contribution also of our freedom fighters has to be noted, as there were several revolts before the famous world-renowned Haitian Revolution by the Maroons, and in our conditions here, the Negmaons. The exploits have to be researched and documented. The UWI must be commended, however, for the central role it continues to play in enriching our Caribbean civilization. Our experiences in neocolonialism in the post-independence period naturally led us to pursue reparatory justice. The meticulous research, structure, organizational synergies, strategies, and the advocacy for reparations from slave owners has been masterfully articulated by Hilary Beckles, Vereen Shepherd, June Soomer, and Earl Bousquet, among others. In some respects, this approach mirrors that of the Pan-African Congress, and as such should have the same effect. Importantly, the Caribbean's reparation movement has garnered the support of African countries. Moreover, African governments are now considering the issue of reparatory justice in respect of the exploitation of the natural resources with an inequitable distribution of the value of these resources to the Anglo-European American developed countries. So in a sense, the role of Beckles in the reparations movement is more or less similar to what transpired in the Fifth African Congress that opened the doors for independence. However, there are some dark clouds on the horizon that we as members of our Caribbean civilization, insofar as our survival is concerned, we must be careful and guard against pressures against us. I speak of the current subtle Anglo-European and American expressions of historical, systematic, structural, visible, and hidden racism. In that regard, the Faragian, Johnsonian, and Trumpian ideas on the reintroduction of colonialism and incipient moves towards the extinction of non-white races has occurred in Argentina and is now occurring in Gaza. We have to monitor this situation at every opportunity. UWI, as the center of intellectual pursuits, must consider itself the protector and liberator of our civilization. The efforts of Vice Chancellor Beckles in maintaining a highly respectful profile on the world stage, his efforts are being opposed in our own backyard. As usual, the neo-colonial forces are mobilizing their house slaves to try to diminish the impact of his Herculean efforts by seeking to infuse disunity and disorder within our hallowed institution. We, the graduates of UWI, must provide steadfast support towards stabilizing our alma mater. In that regard, we must lobby our governments to provide the requisite financial support to UWI. It is patently unrealistic for our governments to expect optimum performance by our university and at the same time deprive it of its oxygen. As the proverbial guinea pig of the inaugural Faculty of Agriculture, I was privileged to have been tutored by a host of knowledgeable, experienced tropical agricultural scientists at the Imperial College of Tropical Agriculture, which had merged into the Faculty of Agriculture at the St. Augustine campus. The volume of technological information generated by scientists at the university, as well as by Cardi and Kariri and the agricultural department of the Faculty of Engineering, which was managed by a gentleman by the name of George Sammy. These products from their research is more than adequate to help solve the perennial food security challenges of the region. The region's astronomical food import bill can only be significantly reduced if traditional food importers who have the necessary capital invest some of their profits to support the use of modern technology in the food production systems of our agricultural sector. The animal side of that equation has not received much attention, and I believe that the Faculty of Agriculture should revisit some of the work of T.P. Lecky, one of the world's best tropical agricultural animal breeders in Jamaica. The Faculty of Agriculture has played a significant role in the preservation of cocoa germplasm, but should expand its work around biodiversity, paying closer attention to the genetic resources of both cultivated and uncultivated crops in the region, particularly those being grown by peasant farmers. In that regard, an area that needs in-depth study is the effect of our biodiversity on the composition and quality of honey, which seems to be highly acceptable on the world stage. The contribution of some of our scientific personnel, particularly as it relates to cancer research from our plant resources, should also be given urgent attention. The marine biodiversity, especially within the combined exclusive economic zones of our countries, also needs some attention. Lamin has commented that our Caribbean civilization is an evolving process. It is heartening to note that UWI continues to provide intellectual stimulation, direction, and strategic leadership through its contribution to world civilization. I am honored to have been educated at UWI after my period at St. Mary's College in St. Lucia. The Faculty of Agriculture did not provide only ideal environment for study, but was also important for the commingling of students from various Caribbean islands and other parts of the world. The interactions, cultural exchanges, differing social norms and values, shared perspectives on humanity, personal relationships, and esprit de corps certainly helped develop perennial, unbreakable bonds of friendship that birthed men and women of character. We all became truly unified Caribbean personages. All of we is one. Certainly, UWI molded my character and is largely responsible for whatever little contribution that I may have made to the agricultural and socioeconomic development of the Caribbean. I am therefore grateful thankful and honored to be conferred with the honorary degree of Doctor of Laws by my alma mater. I accept this honor with humility. My final plea is to urge that we remain resolute in our fight for freedom, bread, and justice. All Caribbean citizens must move with purpose on this. UWI must remain the pivot of this battle and the axle of the revolution of Caribbean civilization, as in the manner described by Derek Walcott in Haitian Earth. Our Caribbean civilization did not start with us, but it is definitely ours. To protect it, we must own it, lock, stock, and barrel. Long live UWI, the glue of our Caribbean civilization. Bravo, UWI.
We will now present a musical performance entitled You Could Be Next, sung by Elra Erme and accompanied on guitar by Ronald Boo Hinkson.
Hi, I'm Ronald Boo Hinkson from St. Lucia, singer, songwriter, guitarist, producer, composer. Let me first start by saying that we want to express our profound sadness at what has happened to Jamaica at the passing of Hurricane Melissa. And we in St. Lucia will do whatever is within our capacity to assist. Let me also congratulate all the graduates and wish you every success in your future endeavors. I want to invite Miss Elra Erme to join me to do a song called You Can Be Next.
Let's celebrate excellence. Yeah. Oh yes, we come from smallness, yet still we achieve greatness. Just look at Sir Arthur Lewis. Just look at Sir Derek Walcott. Oh yes, they set the example and showed us it is possible for our West Indians work to be deserving of the highest recognition. Sir Arthur Lewis made us proud. A pioneer was he, developing our small economy. Gave us the cure for poverty. No, it's not money. It's knowledge that will elevate this country. We come from smallness, yet still we achieve greatness. Just look at Sir Arthur Lewis. Just look at Sir Derek Walcott. Oh yes, they set the example and showed us it is possible for our West Indians work to be deserving of the highest recognition. It was in the field of literature Sir Derek Walcott made his mark. He's a great creator, lover of the arts. Our rich history and our folklore, our people and our culture inspire the works of this accomplished author. We come from smallness, yet still we achieve greatness. Just look at Sir Arthur Lewis. Just look at Sir Derek Walcott. Oh yes, they set the example and showed us it is possible for our West Indians work to be deserving of the highest highest recognition. You can be next, even though you're from a little isle. Even though you're now just a child, you can be next. Strive for excellence in all you do. Next Nobel laureate could be you. You can be next, even though you're from a little isle. You can be next, even though you're now just a child. You can be next. Strive for excellence in all you do. Yeah, it could be you. You can be next. You can be next. You can be next. Yeah, it could be you.
Sir, the persons whose names will be called studied in the University of the West Indies, and having fulfilled the requirements of the University of the West Indies, beg leave to be presented to you and to the Senate of the University by the representatives of their respective faculties as Bachelor of Education, Bachelor of Laws, Bachelors of Science, Nursing, Science and Technology, Social Sciences, Sport, or as holders of Associate of Science degrees or diplomas or certificates of the University of the West Indies. Sir, the Acting Director of the Academic Programming and Delivery Division, Dr. Avenel Joseph Edwards.
Sir, my colleagues and I ask that you receive these persons present who, having fulfilled the requirements of this university, have been admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Education, Bachelor of Laws, Bachelors of Science, Nursing Science and Technology, Social Sciences, Sport, or as holders of Associate of Science degree or diplomas or certificates of the University of the West Indies.
By the authority vested in me, I receive these persons whose names are about to be called, and those who are unable to participate, as graduate members of our society, and confer first degrees, associate degrees, diplomas, and certificates of this university.
Anguilla. Certificate, Tourism and Hospitality Management. Ayana Brooks. Bachelor of Education. Odessa Britton. Kern Saunders. Bachelor of Science, Social Sciences. Alicia Anthony. Caricia Barry Alt. Prince Carty. With first class honors, John Douglas. Taisha Emmanuel with first class honors. Lauralee Fraser with first class honors. Adele Gibbons. Violet Gums with first class honors. Stacey Ann Hawley. Makia Hodge with first class honors. Roniqua Hodge
with first class honors.
Kayla Hodge Rogers,
With first class honors.
Valencia Liberd,
With first class honors.
Michelle Medford, Fiora Mills Ray, Evisha Minette,
With first class honors.
Maisha Minette,
With first class honors.
Remisha Petty,
With first class honors.
Carlos Richardson,
Jonisha Richardson. With first class honors. Shanicia Richardson. Tawana Thomas. With first class honors. Antigua and Barbuda. Associate of Science.
Idrissa Hill,
With distinction. Bachelor of Science, Social Sciences.
Avril Ambrose, Wilcia Casimir Club,
With first class honors.
Chanel Graham, Sean and Lindsay,
With first class honors.
Rolanda Prince,
With first class honors. The Bahamas. Associate of Science.
Valerie Darasen, Alicia Farrington,
With distinction. Bachelor of Education.
Jonice Blyden,
With first class honors. Bachelor of Science, Social Sciences.
Lisa Adelaide Paul, Valencia Isnod, Vernon McKinney,
Victoria Smith. Edia Thompson. With first class honors. Shavante Ward. Barbados. Diploma Social Work.
Trisha Carter,
Bachelor of Science, Social Sciences.
Shane Brewster,
With first class honors.
Alison Mears,
With first class honors.
Sheila Nichols,
With first class honors.
Natalia Paris,
Lisa Springer. Belize. Associate of Science.
Debiani Mass,
Dylan Roches. Bachelor of Laws.
Nikita Flowers,
Bachelor of Science, Social Sciences.
Linford August, Avilen Barahona, Sitna Blaze,
With first class honors.
Tyra Bradley, Jordan Card,
With first class honors.
Tariq Collins,
With first class honors.
Miles Christian,
With first class honors.
Jessica Cruz,
With first class honors.
Aaliyah Dennison,
With
first class honors.
Elzina Labriel,
With first class honors.
Brianni Lucario, Amy Menjivar,
With first class honors.
Larissa Mo, Himar Moody,
With first class honors.
Kelsey Moss,
With first class honors.
Vanisha Oliva,
With first class honors.
Kristen Quinto,
Anthony Rodriguez. Gabriela Sabido, with first class honors. Kirsten Usher Sanchez. Camila Vasquez. Aisha Williams. Bachelor of Science, Sport.
Kaya Kutus,
The British Virgin Islands, Bachelor of Education,
Johanna Marugo,
with first class honors.
Joelle Marugo,
With first class honors.
Menive Mendonca,
With first class honors. Jakisha Vanterpool, with first class honors. Bachelor of Science, Social Sciences.
Tiwana Andrew, Kishma Harris,
With first class honors.
Relicia Joseph, Larissa Mack, Keja O'Neill, Laura Pompey,
Iantra Sampson, with first class honors. Rashida Thompson, with first class honors. The Cayman Islands. Certificate, Early Childhood Development and Family Studies.
John Morgan Watt,
Associate of Science.
Issa Eden,
With distinction. Tanik Yen, Bachelor of Education.
Dane Bailey,
With first class honors. Shauna Taylor Drummond, with first class honors. Sian Wine, Bachelor of Science, Social Sciences.
Latoya Anderson,
With first class honors.
Lovella Anderson, Crystal Aiton,
With first class honors.
Shakila Gordon,
With first class honors.
Prisley Mullings,
Leon Shaw, with first class honors. Caroline Tumute. Dominica, Associate of Science. Samantha Smith, Bachelor of Education.
Juliana Joseph,
with first class honors. Bachelor of Science, Social Sciences.
Iriana Aaron, Michelle Abraham, Tanika Albert,
with first class honors.
Paris Alexander. Marva Bell
with first class honors.
Jason Bernard.
With first class honors.
Abigail Christmas. Vernice Coffey. Shanella Dangleman.
With first class honors.
Odessa Denard. Akira Farrell.
With first class honors.
Dean Hippolyte.
With first class honors.
Donna June Baptiste Athanas.
With first class honors.
Annalyn Joseph.
With first class honors.
Danielle Labadi. Ania Martin. Christine Maxime.
With first class honors.
Nikez Moses.
With first class honors.
Amika Proctor.
With first class honors. Nikita Shillingford. With first class honors.
Cornelia Simon.
Althea St. Louis. With first class honors. Carissa St. Rose. With first class honors.
Honania Thomas.
With first class honors.
Davina Toussaint.
With first class honors.
Taisha Williams Bellot.
Joanna Woodman. Bachelor of Science, Sport. Julian Wade. With first class honors. Grenada. Diploma, Public Sector Administration.
Patrice Lambert.
With distinction. Associate of Science.
Veronica Alexander.
Bachelor of Education.
Lisa Alexis. Ramon Bab.
With first class honors.
Roslyn Bab.
With first class honors.
Rhonda Clark.
With first class honors.
Alyssa Courtney Shares.
With first class honors.
Nikita Bate. Shani Fletcher.
With first class honors.
GL Guy. Noida Noel.
With first class honors.
Chris Ranger Belfont.
With first class honors. Daniela Sears. With first class honors. Devani Telesford. Bachelor of Science, Social Sciences.
Alicia Alexander Roberts. Serafina Andrews.
With first class honors.
Erica Antwine.
With first class honors.
Rhonda Antwine.
With first class honors.
Abigail Ashton. Alex Bailey. Shahiba Batiste. Marissa Barclay.
With first class honors.
Anthony Bartholomew. Kent Bartholomew.
With first class honors.
Jamal Bernard. Shahiba Bernard Lawrence.
with first class honors.
Janae Bob. Melissa Britton.
With first class honors.
Makeda Campbell Francis.
With first class honors.
Sharani Charles. Betty Charles Lashley.
With first class honors.
Hazel Christopher. Harriet Coffey. Kimberly Donald. Jillian Fletcher.
With first class honors.
Chanel Ford.
With first class honors.
Tracy Francis.
With first class honors.
Glenda Huston.
With first class honors.
Zadell Jeffrey.
With first class honors.
Ruth Jones. Jadine Jones Pariah.
With first class honors.
Ramona Laborde. Tanisha Lewis.
With first class honors.
Marianne Marisha Fleming.
With first class honors.
Chrisanne Mitchell.
With first class honors.
Krista Morin.
With first class honors.
Zinzi Noel.
With first class honors.
Aliza Nurse. Tony Pierre.
With first class honors.
Jisa Prime.
With first class honors.
Giselle Ranger.
With first class honors. Abida Roberts. Marissa Roberts. Ivana Shares.
Krista Smart.
Jamie Smith. With first class honors. Chrisan Whiteman Samuel. Jamaica. Associate of Science.
Kian Lawson. Alison Mendez.
Keisha Russell Pencil. With distinction. Bachelor of Education.
Alex Anderson.
With first class honors.
Kristen Peace.
With first class honors.
Eugene Douglas.
With first class honors.
Claudia Walters Daly.
Bachelor of Science, Social Sciences.
Gerald Bailey.
With first class honors.
Rajiv Bulgin. Eileen Chambers.
Summer Gardner Bressett. With first class honors.
Michelle Gale.
Shannon Jarrett. With first class honors.
Torike Moncrief.
Patricia Pitterman Stevens. With first class honors. Stacyan Redley Campbell. Marlette Robinson Ricketts. Michelle Samuda McBean. With first class honors. Ivana Scarlett. Kashev Shaw. With first class honors. Janice Spence. Swena Swaby. Lukisha Thomas with first class honors. Lamoy Thompson. Regent Walker Smith. Shasisha Windep with first class honors. Alicia Wint with first class honors. Sashane Wisdom with first class honors. Montserrat. Certificate Criminology. Divine Piper Henry. Associate of Science. Tamisha Hazel. Bachelor of Education. Shamoya Grant with first class honors. Bachelor of Science, Social Sciences. Shanique Brown. Natoya Colimo with first class honors. Tazia Daru with first class honors. Norma Francis with first class honors. Hilary Hall. Vanice Tuitt with first class honors. St. Kitts and Nevis. Certificate Criminology. Teresa Clark. Associate of Science. Simona Rogers with distinction. Bachelor of Education. Jacinta Bass Harris with first class honors. Bachelor of Science, Social Sciences. Candy Andrew with first class honors. Novelette Benjamin. Luvana Brooks. Zendaya Brown with first class honors. Sharon Burnham. Aisha Kane with first class honors. Sanjay Keynes. Anastasia Push with first class honors. Carisha David. Hannah Debison. Jamaica Doctrine with first class honors. Mario Douglas with first class honors. Shamara Gordon with first class honors. Yondra Hanley. Tyron Hendrickson with first class honors. Shaniqua Henry. Dimitri Liebert with first class honors. Cassie Modern Morrow with first class honors. Tessa Marius Gilbert. Shavana Paris with first class honors. Ishmael Ramsey with first class honors. Siansha Samuel with first class honors. Safia Seaton. Daneen Slater with first class honors. Shania Taylor with first class honors. Alan Ward with first class honors. Latonia Weeks, Saint Lucia, Associate of Science,
Janique Blanchard, Bianca Charlie,
with distinction, Bachelor of Education,
Shonali Evans,
with First Class Honors,
Joanna Liza Joseph,
with First Class Honors, Bachelor of Science, Social Sciences,
Chester Amable,
with First Class Honors,
Trainees Alexander,
with First Class Honors,
Karina Alforce,
with First Class Honors,
Patsy Antoine Gustave, Latoya Arno,
with First Class Honors,
Cletus Austin, Ariel Bailey Small,
with First Class Honors,
Naisha Bartholomew,
with First Class Honors,
Lorinia Bellas, Zanaya Bissett,
with First Class Honors,
Shellyanne Green, Darren Brown, Ramia Bruno, Camilla Claxton, Gina Edward, Kezia Edward,
with First Class Honors,
Chelsea Eugene,
with First Class Honors,
Shane Evans,
with First Class Honors,
Andrea Felicia, Anita Felix,
with First Class Honors,
Katasha Felix,
with First Class Honors,
Selene Fenelon, Jana Flavian, Claudine Francis, Shania George, Tanisha Gilbert, Ronaldia Gregg,
with First Class Honors,
Fernell James,
with First Class Honors,
Shaddai James,
with First Class Honors,
Sutania Jean-Baptiste, Sancha Jean-Baptiste, Rena Joseph, Yanil Joseph, Kivia Jules, Chanel Julian,
with First Class Honors,
Sophie Klein Alfred,
with First Class Honors,
Diana Lebrun,
with First Class Honors,
Junaya Leo,
with First Class Honors,
Kira Louison,
with First Class Honors,
Liz McLean,
with First Class Honors,
Elsie Maximin, Faith Mitchell, Mimika Modest, Laura Montplaisir,
with First Class Honors,
Yulindia Nelson,
with First Class Honors,
Ryan Norville,
with First Class Honors,
Anise O'Neill,
with first class honors.
Tiffany Paul.
Tamara Philip, with first class honors.
Arlene Creville. Jasmine Primus.
With first class honors.
Donnell Prosper.
Alex Sadu, with first class honors. Kalia Shuet, with first class honors. Delbert Sinrose. Sylvania Tobia. Cheyenne Willie, with first class honors. Jamila Wilson, with first class honors. Elandra Wilson, with first class honors. Bachelor of Science, Sport.
Ivanelsia Alsenborg. Michaela Kudra.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Certificate, Tourism and Hospitality Management.
Lashern Morgan.
Bachelor of Arts,
Swaditu Graham.
with first class honors. Bachelor of Education,
Lucian Allen. Frina Balcom. Charlene Bascom Haynes.
with first class honors.
Inka Balak Butcher.
With first class honors.
Shiva Butcher.
With first class honors.
Fian Caesar.
With first class honors.
Sabrina Kane.
With first class honors.
Yasnik Charles.
With first class honors.
Lillian Cole Williams.
With first class honors.
Adama Davy.
With first class honors.
Devlin Douglas. Tamika Francis.
With first class honors.
Charlie Fraser.
With first class honors.
Brunetta Harry.
With first class honors.
Tanisha Harry.
With first class honors.
Ronika Haywood.
With first class honors.
Kanisha John.
With first class honors.
Nadisha John.
With first class honors.
Antonia Johnson. Charlene Latham Jones.
With first class honors.
Malaika Lavey.
With first class honors.
Julene McIntosh Hope.
With first class honors.
Norris Mestre Sam.
With first class honors.
Joselle Mufford Pope.
With first class honors.
Shalise Patterson Kwashi.
With first class honors.
Cheryl Peniston. Marissa Pereira. Jerona Pitt.
With first class honors. Letice Richards. Esther Smith. With first class honors. Fleur Williams. With first class honors. Tradell Williams. With first class honors. Floricia Wiley. With first class honors. Janelle Wynne James. With first class honors. Bachelor of Science Nursing.
Chandian Mac. Marissa Peters.
Bachelor of Science, Science and Technology. Kayla Williams. Bachelor of Science, Social Sciences.
Anala Adams.
With first class honors.
Alshika Ambrose.
With first class honors.
Reem Andrews.
With first class honors.
Simone Balcom.
With first class honors.
Junette Ballantyne. Mishka Ballantyne.
With first class honors.
Doug Barnwell.
With first class honors.
Shenika Baines.
With first class honors.
Kadesh Kane.
With first class honors.
Moline Charles. Mikish Charles. Lisa Combs Stewart. Janelle Cruikshank.
With first class honors.
Christy Dabriel. Malia Davy Jacobs.
With first class honors.
Maya Douglas.
With first class honors.
Zora Duncan McIntosh. Kamisha Ellis.
With first class honors.
Frances Evans.
With first class honors.
Chavon Foy. Camille Franklin. Malia Frederick.
With first class honors.
Sudani Gibson.
With first class honors.
Geraldine Glasgow. Devon Griffith.
With first class honors.
Afino Haynes. Kelderine Henry.
With first class honors.
Atika James.
With first class honors.
Verena James.
With first class honors.
Kiana John.
With first class honors.
Joselle Lewis.
With first class honors.
Latricia McDowell. Colin McLean.
With first class honors.
Cassia Moses.
With first class honors.
Ushia Mayol.
With first class honors.
Larisha Nichols. Ariane Oliver.
With first class honors.
Ophelia Phillips. Lisselle Flo. Shanika Hope. Shawnee Primus.
Janique Richards. With first class honors. Nia Roberts. Diana Robinson. Nicolette Samuel. With first class honors. Shalise Samuel. Shalise Samuel. With first class honors. Winnie Samuel. Denisha Sardine with first class honors. Shadell Smart, Tonicia Smart with first class honors, Brittany Solon, Rosania Stevens with first class honors, Daniel Sutherland, Letitia Sutherland with first class honors, Quasria Thomas with first class honors, Keldon Walters, Aileen Williams with first class honors, Jamel Williams, Jenlyn Woods with first class honors, Lopez Young with first class honors, Bachelor of Science Sport, Nishawn Lewis, Brianna Nash, Kieran Peters, Paula Stroh, Trinidad and Tobago, Certificate Criminology, Charisma Granthume, Ashria Ramkisoon, Certificate Early Childhood Development and Family Studies, Therese Rambaran, Diploma Public Sector Administration, Belika Haynes, Aloy Westfield with distinction, Associate of Science, Leah Ali, Zaria Bihari, Bachelor of Education, Amy Arcia with first class honors, Lakshman Bechan with first class honors, Nathalia Chatagun Singh with first class honors, Ara Primus with first class honors, Sita Singh with first class honors, Bachelor of Science, Social Sciences, Mila Ayapam, Farah Ali, Brittany Elaine, Crystal Ashby Roban, Ariel Betancourt, Jaden Cumberbatch, Kim De Silva Duke with first class honors, Amara Dean, Renee Edwards, Lavon Estrada, Kristen Floyd, Joshua George, Shamaya Gibson with first class honors, Trinity Gordon, Mario Granger with first class honors, Marissa Hassel Lawrence with first class honors, Natasha Lashley with first class honors, Marsha Linton Dolly with first class honors, Anamika Ramdas, Paul Saran, Alana Toby Phillips, the Turks and Caicos Islands, Associate of Science. Vanessa Valbrun, with distinction, Bachelor of Science, Social Sciences.
Veronique Barrick Sinclair.
With first class honors.
Christy Cadet.
With first class honors. International student, Guyana. Bachelor of Science, Social Sciences.
Rashida Murray.
With first class honors.
I recognize your advancement in our society. I now call on the class valedictorian, Mr. Alex Anderson, Bachelor of Education with First Class Honors from the Global Campus Montego Bay site, Jamaica, to deliver the valedictory address.
Chancellor Miller, Vice Chancellor Beckles, Chairperson of the Global Campus Council, Her Excellency, Dr. June Suma, Pro Vice Chancellor and Campus Principal, Dr. Francis Severin, Honorary Graduate, Sir Calix George, University Executives, Members of Staff, distinguished guests, and of course, my fellow graduates. What a joy it is to stand here today, not only with a degree in hand, but with stories of resilience, sacrifice, and determination written across our lives. Today is more than a ceremony. It is a celebration of what it means to persist when the odds are stacked against us, to rise after setbacks, to keep going when doubt whispers in our ear. And if there's one truth I have carried with me throughout this journey, it is this: it is never too late to transform. Allow me to share a little of my own story. For the past 8 years, I have proudly served as a primary school educator on the little but Talawa island of Jamaica. Teaching has always been my passion, and in 2020, amid a global pandemic, I took a bold step, enrolling at the University of the West Indies Global Campus to pursue a Bachelor of Education in Educational Leadership and Management. It was far from ideal timing. COVID-19 brought fear and uncertainty, and in the midst of it all, I was facing major eye surgery. Recovery was grueling. Some days, even opening my eyes felt impossible. I questioned whether I could handle such a demanding program, but I pressed on. The road did not get easier. Eye complications forced me to pause my studies. A ruptured ankle and financial hardships followed, derailing my carefully laid out plans. Yet, I learned that transformation is rarely a straight line. Sometimes it bends, sometimes it pauses, but the important part is that it continues. Today, I stand not just with a degree, but with the resilience forged through every trial. My journey is a testament to persistence, that even the loudest doubts cannot silence a determined heart. But my story is only one among thousands. My fellow graduates, each of you has your own testimony. Some of us balance studies with full-time jobs. Some of us were raising children, caring for aging parents, or managing health challenges of our own. And yet, here we all are. This is the gift of the UWI Global Campus. It meets us where we are. It proves that education does not have to pull us away from our lives. It can weave itself into the very fabric of them. Think about it. Many of us worked a full shift, came home, prepared dinner, helped children with homework, and then logged into an evening tutorial, sometimes with the sound of pots clanging or children asking for snacks in the background. That was the reality, but it was also the beauty. We could pursue transformation while remaining present in our homes, in our workplaces, and in our communities. And in that process, my fellow Pelicans, we learned something about ourselves. We learned discipline. We learned balance. We learned how to stretch time in ways we never thought possible. And we learned that true growth does not happen in comfort zones. Transformation demands sacrifice. Even in the midst of balancing our own worlds, we discovered something else. We were not alone. One of the most beautiful aspects of this journey was the sense of connection across the Caribbean. I worked alongside classmates from St. Vincent, Trinidad, Barbados, St. Lucia, Dominica, just to name a few. Our WhatsApp groups, our late night discussions, our desperate, has anyone started this assignment yet messages, they became lifelines. Through these connections, we realized that although separated by sea, we are united in determination. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the true power of the UWI Global Campus. It is not just about producing graduates. It is about producing connections, strengthening regional unity, and making higher education accessible to all. It is about reminding us that transformation is possible, no matter our circumstances, no matter our ages, no matter our islands. But colleagues, today is not only about personal triumph, it is about responsibility. The Caribbean is facing serious challenges. Inequality continues to threaten our unity, as too many are still denied access to quality education, fair wages, and opportunities for advancement. Misinformation spreads like wildfire across digital spaces, distorting facts and deepening divisions in an already fragile world. And in a time when trust in leadership often feels uncertain, our societies are crying out for leaders who are both ethical and compassionate. Leaders who can pair intellect with empathy. This is where we come in. The knowledge we gained at the Global Campus equips us to step into these spaces as agents of change. We leave here not just with qualifications on paper, but with the courage and discipline to lead our organizations and our societies. In the words of Nelson Mandela, education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. Today, we affirm that truth. Education has always been and will always remain one of the most powerful forces for transformation, and now we wield it. Still, we must remember, this degree is not only about us. It is about the little boy or girl in our community who will look at us and say, if they did it, so can I. It is about the families who sacrificed so we could chase this dream. It is about the colleagues and mentors who lifted us up when we stumbled. So, let us be clear. This is not an individual victory. This is a shared triumph. It belongs to our lecturers who challenged and encouraged us. It belongs to our peers who laughed and cried with us. It belongs to our families who believed in us when we doubted ourselves. Today, we rise together, not as isolated achievers, but as a collective example of what resilience can accomplish. As I close, I must pause to honor the institution that made this all possible. The University of the West Indies is a beacon of both tradition and innovation. Through the Global Campus, UWI has shown that it is not only committed to preserving its proud legacy, but also determined to meet the future with creativity and accessibility. So, let us step boldly into this next chapter of our lives, armed with resilience, grounded in purpose, and guided by the conviction that it is never too late to transform. Congratulations, class of 2025. We did it, and though far apart, we did it together.
Sir, I now call on Professor Julie Meeks Gardner, Director, School for Graduate Studies and Research, to present to you members of our society for the award of postgraduate diplomas and master's degrees.
Sir, I present to you these members of our society who, having fulfilled the requirements of this university, have been awarded postgraduate diplomas and have been admitted to master's degrees, and beg that you recognize their advancement in our society.
By the authority vested in me, I confer on these persons whose names are about to be called, and those who are unable to attend, postgraduate certificates and diplomas and master's degrees of this university, and recognize their advancement in our society.
Anguilla, Master of Science, Management Studies. Juana Duncan van Heiningen, Master of Science, Management Studies, Public Sector Management. Claricia Gomes Telemac, Antigua and Barbuda. Master of Science, Management and Educational Leadership. Nadia Joseph, with merit. The Bahamas. Master of Education, Literacy Instruction. Tara Burrows. Master of Science, Food Security. Reshane Rami, with distinction. Master of Science, Management Studies, Human Resource Management. Turkessa Colmo. Deandra Evans. Shannon Hannah. Master of Science, Nursing, Nursing Administration. Ronette Mackenzie, with merit. Barbados. Postgraduate Diploma in Management and Educational Leadership. Hakeem Hines, with merit. Master of Education, Literacy Instruction. Carisha Bailey. Belize. Master of Arts, English Language. Eugenie Roches. Master of Science, Instructional Design and Technology. Anna Oliveira Reyes, with merit. Master of Science, Management and Educational Leadership. Celia Melendez, with merit. Master of Science, Management Studies, Human Resource Management. Talia Dawson, with merit. Cherise Rivero. Master of Science, Management Studies, Marketing. Jamie Lee Flowers, with merit. Master of Science, Management Studies, Public Sector Management. Leon Dawson. Berndina Eck. The British Virgin Islands. Master of Education, Educational Leadership and Management. Lynn Addis Lynch, with merit. Master of Science, Management and Educational Leadership. Aina Wheatley, with distinction. The Cayman Islands. Master of Science, Management Studies. Kenise Scott Pusey. Master of Science, Management Studies, Human Resource Management. Charmaine Thompson Taylor. Dominica. Postgraduate Diploma in Climate Resilient Agricultural Extension for Community Development. Jason Bruno, with merit. Larnell Lawrence, with merit. Delroy Williams, with distinction. Master of Education, Teaching and Learning with Emerging Technologies. Naomi Remy Laurent, with distinction. Master of Science, Instructional Design and Technology. Kirk Edwards, with distinction. Master of Science, Management Studies. Sheldon Bruno with merit. Vanessa Regis John Jules with distinction. Master of Science, Management Studies, Human Resource Management. Kareem Bertrand. Master of Science, Management Studies, Project Management. Keisha Polidor with merit. Maureen Valmond with distinction. Master of Science, Nursing, Family Nurse Practitioner. Colleen Harris Jean-Baptiste. Ermin Rennie Roberts. Grenada. Postgraduate Diploma in Management and Educational Leadership. Lil James with merit. Master of Education, Teaching and Learning with Emerging Technologies. Tracy Redhead with merit. Master of Science, Management Studies. Kayan Hansen. Master of Science, Management Studies, Human Resource Management. Akeda Calist with merit. Jamaica. Postgraduate Diploma in Education, Secondary English. Shanice Hardware with merit. Postgraduate Diploma in Instructional Design. Roshima Campbell with distinction. Postgraduate Diploma in Management and Educational Leadership. Sadiane Jackson with distinction. Postgraduate Diploma in Management Studies. Francesca Francis with distinction. Master of Science, Global Studies. Diantha Beckford with merit. Master of Science, Management and Educational Leadership. Sharneel Copeland. Master of Science, Management Studies. Daniel Morgan. Master of Science, Management Studies, Human Resource Management. Sashella Bailey. Donnell Ellis. Kendria Freckleton. Sarika Hyde. Yasan Johnson with merit. Sevica Porcius. Master of Science, Management Studies, Management Information Systems. Rashida Davy with distinction. Sharice Williams with merit. Master of Science, Management Studies, Project Management. Peter Dunn with distinction. St. Kitts and Nevis. Executive Master in Business Administration, Healthcare Management. Selene Campbell with merit. Master of Science, Management Studies, Human Resource Management. Joycelyn Thomas. Master of Science, Management Studies, Project Management. Teshel Samuel Caesar. St. Lucia. Postgraduate Diploma in competition law and policy. Ferdale Felix Polius, with distinction, postgraduate diploma in health research and epidemiology. Chantal Gaston, Master of Laws, competition law and policy. Sally Ann Cotter, with distinction. Shekeri Gravilis, with merit. Master of Science, Management Studies. Gregory Allen, with merit. Keneen Betty, with distinction. Josh Ann Charles, with distinction. Master of Science, Management Studies, Human Resource Management. Jarvin Octal, Master of Science, Management Studies, Project Management. Craig Anderson, with distinction. Genia Lawrence, with merit. Master of Science, Nursing, Advanced Nursing Education. Jamel James. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Master of Education, Teaching and Learning with Emerging Technologies. Lornette Moore, with distinction. Phoenicia Providence, with distinction. Keisha York, with distinction. Master of Science, Management and Educational Leadership. Andika Jack, with distinction. Master of Science, Management Studies. Kathy Ann Tommy Samuel, with distinction. Master of Science, Management Studies, Human Resource Management. Chelsea Phillips, with merit. Master of Science, Management Studies, Management Information Systems. Akshika Charles, with merit. Lisana Williams Henry, with merit. Master of Science, Management Studies, Public Sector Management. Nadia Hamlet, with merit. Desiree Millington. Trinidad and Tobago, Postgraduate Diploma in Literacy Instruction. Chanda Small, with distinction. Master of Education, Literacy Instruction. Cherisha Dickinson, with distinction. Master of Education, Teaching and Learning with Emerging Technologies. Kezia Allard, with distinction. International Student, Guyana, Master of Science, Management and Educational Leadership. Trishelle Ward, with distinction.
I recognize your advancement in our society.
Sir, I now call on Professor Audrey Henry Lee, Pro Vice Chancellor, Graduate Studies and Research, to present to you members of our society for the award of Doctor of Education and Doctor of Philosophy degrees.
Sir, I present to you these members of our society who, having fulfilled the requirements of this university, have been admitted to the degrees of Doctor of Education and Doctor of Philosophy, and beg that you recognize their advancement in our society.
By the authority vested in me, I confer on these persons whose names are about to be called, and those who are unable to attend, the degrees of Doctor of Education and Doctor of Philosophy, and recognize their advancement in our society.
The Bahamas. Doctor of Education, Educational Leadership, Higher Education. Deidre Moss. Barbados. Doctor of Education, Teaching and Learning with Emerging Technologies. Donnell Knight French. Jamaica. Doctor of Education, Teaching and Learning with Emerging Technologies, Curriculum Quality. Lisa Dare. Doctor of Education, Teaching and Learning with Emerging Technologies, Instructional Technology, Sharon Gilzine. Trinidad and Tobago, Doctor of Philosophy, Child, Adolescent, and Youth Studies, Nasha James. Thesis title, Did They Wane, Cope, or Thrive? The Mental Well-Being and Future Orientation of Emerging Adults During the COVID-19 Pandemic, an explanatory sequential mixed method study. The study examined how COVID-19 affected the mental well-being and future orientation of emerging adults in Trinidad and Tobago. Findings showed low well-being, but a generally positive future orientation. Key themes included distress, coping, growth, and the protective roles of social support and spirituality. Supervisor was Dr. Jason Marshall. Congratulations to Nasha James. She is the first graduate with a Doctor of Philosophy at the Global Campus, the University of the West Indies. International student, Ghana. Doctor of Education, Educational Leadership, Higher Education. Oslin Campbell.
I recognize your advancement in our society. I now call on Ms. Chanel Paul, the UWI Alumni Representative, St. Lucia, to lead the graduates in reciting the Alumni Pledge.
Congratulations, graduates. It is a distinct honor and pleasure to officially welcome you to the UWI alumni family. You are encouraged to become engaged alumni who show Pelican pride and are involved in the life of the campus as guest speakers, mentors, supporters of all events, and promoters of the University of the West Indies. I now invite the graduating class of 2025 to recite the UWI Alumni Pledge. As a graduate of the University of the West Indies, I commit myself to uphold the ideals and goals of my alma mater. My conduct and voice shall reflect the commitment to excellence of the light rising from the West, as I fulfill my social and professional responsibilities and serve my community and region. I will strive to further cement the UWI's place as a Caribbean icon, the catalyst for Caribbean development and leadership. It is a legacy that I will proudly help build for future generations. The UWI, first in our hearts and first in our region.
We now have a rendition of the university song, There is a Light.
From
This brings to a close the public ceremony by which the University of the West Indies has signalized the award of degrees, diplomas, and certificates to its graduates.
It's a light that is rising from north to the west, and bodies of Valedictory. So we those whose work has brought glory to your name, making a better world for you and for me. This is our university.